Oh my God! All right, so another one.
Another one.
Back at it again with another episode of the Play Me Something podcast. Real quick, we just want to do first impressions of Joey Bada's new album, All-Amerikkkan Bada. Christopher, you been listening?
I've been listening. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the album a lot. Like, as we all know, the album largely discusses Black life in America and the turmoil that Black people go through. And
thought it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that was my immediate
as a white
first
person,
impression.
I find it hilarious.
I find it quite funny. Right now, I'm smoking a pipe, just for any of you listening, like one of those really fancy ones. But I feel like his message comes off incredibly genuine, and this is extreme first impressions for me because this is first time listening to Joey Bada across the board. Never listened to anything by him.
What?
But I feel like it comes off very genuine because of the amount of time and detail he put in, shining a light on all the different areas of Black life in America. It wasn't just one area. It's discrimination. It's employer discrimination.
Okay.
It's the way society views him. It's the way he feels about all of this as well. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just means like a very genuine, honest, activist album.
That's good.
That I enjoyed.
That's a really positive first impression.
Yeah.
Tell
from a white guy.
You have something to say?
Let's see the negative impression from a white guy.
First impression, I think there were a lot of people like I wasn't too worried just because I like to see change.
Oh, wait. We should actually not fail to mention that, obviously for our listeners, Detel hates 90s rappers and 90s rap in general.
That's
my bad. He hates black people. The era doesn't matter.
Pretty
I'm
much
kidding.
all black people.
Wild.
No. You listened to Joey Bada before this?
Yes.
All right.
I listened to Before the Dollars or whatever it's called.
Yes.
Before the dollars.
And I really enjoyed that album.
So coming into this one?
Coming into this one, I think when he released that single Devastated, a lot of us got confused. We were like, what the hell is this next album going to sound like? And I liked that song before I heard the album. Now I like that song even more because with the album, that song I just feel is even more powerful. Because this album is a very, it talks about a lot of, hard to talk about things that, and...
It gives context for his sort of triumph, right?
Yeah. So when you start singing "Devastated," you're just really wow, this is a nice little refresher before we go back into some more really deep pull at the heart type stuff.
Word.
And I don't know. I thought that the album as a whole was pretty solid. You know what you're getting. And you got a couple surprises.
Okay.
And I love. He got Styles P on it. That's great. J. Cole, that surprised me when I first saw it. And I love Schoolboy. So I don't know, the whole album was a step up.
Do you like J. Cole's verse?
It's forgettable.
That's hilarious.
I won't say that.
Quan,
I actually love J. Cole's verse.
How'd you feel about the album though? How'd you feel about the album?
The album was pretty much trash. I hated it. I love the album. Sonically, I really love the album.
Really?
I don't know why. It must be the melodies. And the production mostly because it just kind of soothed me the whole time, even though he was being serious about a lot of shit that.
When that little boy cried.
Shut the hell up.
Little boy cried.
That would just make me that shit that I would hear and probably it would make me angry if it was in any other format. You know what I'm saying? I just love some of the shit. I would catch nowadays we hanging from a different tree, and I can name all tree, but then
I can relate.
But then he starts naming the branches of the government, which were that's
wild.
Which was dope. I thought it was dope the way he set that up. Obviously he let Schoolboy take over Rockabye Baby. Rockabye, Schoolboy just murdered that shit.
Yeah. As he's prone to do. He does that from time to time.
What about you?
But I thought J. Cole's verse was great. Styles P verse.
I just don't remember it.
I like J. Cole's verse. I couldn't say it was great because I don't remember it well enough. And that's not.
Styles P is always remind me. Whenever I hear him on that song, what song is he on?
Super Predators.
Whenever I hear him, I'm reminded of "I'm Black" by Styles P from back in the day.
I don't know if I remember that.
All right, Kyle, what do you think?
Shut the fuck up. I just feel like my relationship with Joey Bada is a little difficult. I've heard so much New York rap, man. I've heard a lot of New York rap, and I was always hesitant to listen to Joey Bada. just because I feel like we probably have a lot in common as far as like perspectives he heard growing up and the music he listened to. So I always felt like I don't know if he is ever gonna say some shit that's actually really gonna interest me or can surprise me. I've heard his other shit before.
Have you heard was it Summer Nights?
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
I played it like once, so barely. But I listened to this and I genuinely appreciate it. Now, I think if I listen to it over time, I'm gonna get like really attached. Like I'll just be more attached to what he does because it is, like, I agree with Chris. It is genuine. And my first impression of this, not even my first impression, but one of my earliest impressions was that Joey Bada sort of like has evolved to that next level, and that next level is to be like a less cynical J. Cole, essentially. Where he's still like, he's reminds me of J. Cole in that he's a sort of a throwback in a lot of ways, but I actually believe him. You feel me? Like I actually believe he means everything he says on the album. I like American Idol. I like Devastator. I like Babylon.
So good.
I believe Joey on this one. He didn't. I don't think he necessarily brought something that was gonna anything particularly blow me away. But I wasn't really asking for him to do that. I'm trying to appreciate it for what it is, and what it is Joey as he is, genuinely expressing himself about himself and his place in America.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that I feel like this album did show me that, I don't know, you could take it as a flaw or something. It's not even a flaw. I think this album, from the last album to this album, like, I think I had this weird revelation where I realized he's really not, in comparison to a lot of artists and writers these days, he's really nothing like that blows me away or anything. He's not like, he's not, I'm not saying you're a bad writer, but like, you're a good writer, and that's it.
That's it.
And like, it's okay. Like, I don't, like, I'm not saying here,
How used to you are to like listening to him?
I mean, I've listened to his last album like way too many times.
Yeah, I believe
to the point where I probably don't like too much of it anymore.
Yeah, I believe
and like this album, I've only listened to like 3 times.
Yeah, I've only heard
like,
it like 2 or 3 times.
Through those 3 times, like, you brought up that line. That's a good line. You know, hanging from a different tree, and then he starts naming the branches of the government. That's cool.
He uses his pronunciation to do that a lot.
Yeah, and I think his flow has also gotten a little bit like.
See,
It's always safe feeling for me. It feels like more like you wrote a paper and you want to speak it in a really cool way, in a sense, instead of like trying to just like flex.
I was thinking
that's funny because
he never flexes. He never flexes.
He switches up the flow.
I get what Mike's saying though.
He just never flexes, and I don't know if he can or can't.
The impression that you might get from like Joey or even J. Cole is that they have already decided where the lines are as far as what they're gonna make. They've already decided where the boundaries are. Because they decided they're making hip hop and they're gonna be a rapper. They already decided what that means and where that begins and ends. You feel me? They may not stay.
Everything sounds so comfortable to them.
Yeah, they might not stay with the same boom bap style, but they will still exist within these defined lines of what other people told them hip hop is. Joey just seems far less cynical about it. I feel weird judging him because he's
like him way more than all the other activist rappers that right now.
I thought he's younger than me.
He might be a year younger than me, honestly.
He's 24 or something.
No, the fuck he's not.
He's
like 21 or 22.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I think he's like a year younger than me, and yet I look at him like a kid to me because
honestly,
the weird thing about him is he started rapping like 16, 17 is when he started blowing up. What the fuck has he done except rap? You feel me?
Yeah.
So even though I like the album and I appreciate Joey, part of me wonders is like, yo, is this kid, do I really give a fuck about what he's going to do as far as like an artist? Because he decided he's making hip hop, he's decided he's going to be a rapper, and he decided that rap is all I can do. I don't know, like he already decided what he was gonna do. So I don't know. It's hard to care about his future, even though I respect what he did on this and I believe him.
It's even harder because he's so young.
Yeah, he's 22. I just looked it up.
To look at him as a leader.
Yeah,
I mean,
I see him as Rocky's little brother. I don't see him as a leader. Honestly.
But I mean, but this album kind of puts him like I see it kind of like you talked about evolution. He's
Yeah.
kind of evolved his voice into like a leading position.
Mm.
Because essentially, I've heard multiple rappers talk about the same content that he's talking about now, especially like society views and how they feel about police brutality and Donald Trump. And I haven't really felt the same that I like when I listen to him. I'm like, yeah, I can feel this because I feel like it's coming from a very real place because he's so young. You know what I'm saying? When you're at your youngest and you start seeing this shit, that's when it's like the realest to you. And like if you speak out on it, that's when it's the most vocal, I think.
All right, so I think we said as much as we can say about him right now.
It'll be cool to see where he goes. Peace out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Play me something.
Yeah.
Check the Twitter and all that. Thank you for listening. Twitter, that's @play_me_something. SoundCloud and all that shit, and Instagram and shit. Check the playlist on the SoundCloud and shit.
So bad at
That's all. Thank you, everybody.
Thank y'all for listening.